everybody, it's Amy Graham, the Badass Valkyrie, and today I thought that I would do something a little bit different. I've been involved in conventions or cons since I was about 18 years old, and that's all in the sci-fi fandom world. I am a huge geek. If none of the paraphernalia up here gives that away, it totally should. I'm totally a Marvel girl. I love Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, all of that sort of thing. I have numerous fandoms. It all started with Star Trek when I was a kid. And so I've been involved in the convention realm for a very long time because I am almost 52 and I've been doing this since I was 18. So you can do the math because I really don't want to do it right now. So over the weekend when I went to Salt Lake City PlannerCon parties, I wasn't sure what to expect. And so I ended up taking 11 of my traveler's notebooks. When we did the big stacks picture, now granted some of the people had actually already left because it was kind of an afterthought, but in this, I'm going to put that picture up right here. And I'm going to give you time to guess as to which one of these stacks, and yes, I mean an entire stack, was mine. And so I know most of you could probably pick that out just based on what I have had in the past. But yeah, all of that brown and natural rust, all of that kind of colors, that was all me. Yeah, you can tell I'm not really a big flowery person at all. But what came out of that was so many people were like, oh my gosh, you have an apple pig, or oh my gosh, you have a Chic Sparrow, or you have a speckled fawns. Oh my gosh, I've never seen one of these. And so it was really cool. And so a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, I've never seen an apple pig, and this is amazing. And so I do want to point out that of those 11, one was my wallet, and one was my Nano that stays in my handbag the entire time. So I did pull out quite a few, but I was like, I don't know what we're going to do. I know there's workshops, I know there's other things, and there wasn't a lot of communication about what actually goes on. So I over-prepared. But that's okay, because I enjoyed it, and I didn't mind carrying. I mean, it just sat in a bag right next to me, so although at the tables, I was kind of like, maybe we should go chair bag, chair bag, chair bag, chair bag. Anyway. But what came out of that was a lot of people were actually asking me about my Chic Sparrow collection. And so recently on the Chic Sparrow fan page, one particular person who I adore and I think is a phenomenal artist, Tina Preston, and she has been showing all of her color collections, which I have to say is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And it has made me not feel so ostentatious with my collection because it's tiny comparatively. And so, but she actually has whole collections of colors. Yeah. Y'all thought I was out there with all of these, but I am so envious. And if ever one of my books hit big, or I ever got a substantial amount of money in the bank, oh my gosh, I would go nuts. You guys think this is nuts? This is all on the cheap, and I mean, all on the cheap. So I mean, very few of my actual Chic Sparrows have I actually paid full price for, because I usually get them off the buy sell trade group. Because I don't know for sure if I really like them. The ones that actually have inscriptions on them are ones that I've purchased, or as you all recently saw, was gifted to me by a very special person who, Tina Lou, you're amazing. I still love it. Oh my God, I love it. So anyway, so I wanted to go ahead and just show you today my Chic Sparrow collection, and there are 13 of them. I have sold 2 out of the whole time. One of them was a second chance sale, and it was a pink sweet pea in A5. The only A5 I've ever purchased, and it was pink. Not even like fuchsia pink like the English rose. It was like, to coin a phrase, titty pink. The shock. And so I was like, no. And I instantly sold that one. No. I am not a sweet pea girl. Ever, at all. I did sell my personal in English Rose, which I think was probably like my third Chic Sparrow. I wanted one really badly, and in the personal size, and I think that was actually my first personal size. And I convinced myself that it wasn't pink. And you all saw the video. I was like, no, it's fuchsia. Fuchsia. Not pink. I tried to live with it over and over again and couldn't. So I actually ended up selling that one because I was like, it needs to be loved the way it needs to be loved. And that's certainly not going to happen here because I'm not a pink girl. So, what I have left are the 13 that I have. There might be 2 that I'm thinking about getting rid of, but only to fund another one. The Wayfarer line just came out, got announced today in 2 Minute Tuesday. If you have not seen it, you should, because it's the rustic bag leather, the leather that I just adore. And so it's kind of like the rustic Kodiak, and it's a very rustic leather. So, yeah. On the way home, I'm like, I should do that video before I actually sell the ones that I don't want anymore so that I can fund something else. So that's where we're at. We're no longer just like on a whim getting one. It's what has to leave my collection so I can get something else. And some of these are never, ever leaving my collection. Even though I haven't actually done what I wanted to do with them yet, I will. I definitely will. So, we're going to start from the largest and go down to the smallest. And I will just explain what I have. So here we go. First is this is the very first Odyssey I ever got. And this is in the Odyssey leather in the color Hera. And this is a standard wide. And it has the inscription, Badass Valkyrie, which is me. That's the first time I ever had an inscription done, and I love it. All of my inscriptions are done in Aubergine, even the one that was gifted to me. She knows me so well. It has 3 rings and 3 dots, as does all of my Odyssey collection. So these are the dots, the ink splatters, and then the rings. So 3 and 3. 3 is kind of my color, or my number. Teal was the color of 2018 for me. Everything was coming to me in teal, and I decided to get the Hera. I love it. This one I did get directly from Chic Sparrow. And this originally housed my workout plans. And so I had planners in here that I was trying to track my workouts in. And right now is it's got 2 Moleskines, the Mad Hatter, Alice in Wonderland weekly, and then a teal professional notebook. I'm not sure if that's going to stay. We'll see. But right now, because I'm using the Inkwell Press vertical planner to track all my workouts in and everything, this may get repurposed into something else. But I love it, and this is one that will never, ever, ever leave my house. One, because it's inscribed. Next up is another Odyssey leather in Prometheus. And this is actually a retired leather. But when they brought it back for the Odyssey leather special event, I decided to get this. And this is my bills. This houses all of the bills for me. So red, on fire, make sure everything gets paid kind of thing. Again, 3 rings, 3 splatters, just the way I like them. This one I was going to get inscribed, but at the time it was like boom, boom, boom. They were selling out like crazy, and I did not want to risk missing the Prometheus, so I did not get it inscribed. However, I freaking love this. Red is actually my second favorite color. I honestly, if Chic Sparrow ever did an orange, like OSU Halloween orange, I would go ballistic. I know that they did a sidekick in a persimmon, which was an orange, and I'm like, that would be ideal. If I could find a persimmon sidekick, oh yeah, and I had the money, because they are spendy, because they're all, I mean, no, they don't make them anymore, but that is on my wish list forever. If I can find a persimmon in a really good condition, sidekick, because holy cow, yeah, love that orange. But yes, I really wish they would do an orange. But red is my second favorite color, so love my Prometheus. And by the way, that is the name, Prometheus and Hera. Hera and this next one are the only two, well, now 3. I guess I have 3 of them that have female names. So, next up is my Poppy. And this one has almost I started tearing up almost immediately. It's crazy. Anyway, we will not go into what this is going to be used for because it makes me all weepy. But this one also has my inscription, Badass Valkyrie, and this is Poppy. And I love her. I love her. Some of these have charms, and some of them have inscription plates. Some don't have anything because if they're more utilitarian, I don't put those on there. Or they haven't spoken to me yet and told me what they want to have on there. So, yeah. Yes, I do get feelings from inanimate objects. It's just kind of a kinetic kind of feeling. I don't know. I get hoodoo, whatever. My husband's like, seriously? I'm like, I do. I get feelings or inferences from certain things that mean a lot to me. So, anyway. Hence, automatically tearing up when I hold this. So, this is Poppy. And this is a B6, a regular B6. So, there was no ink spots or anything, but you can see the striations on that. She is beautiful. So, I love her very much. Next up is my Calypso. And again, probably don't need to point it out, but 3 rings and 3 ink spots. The rings are kind of hard to tell, but there's a ring here, and a ring here. So I can get it close enough where you can kind of see that, but the darkness on that is a little hard to see. And this one is a week's cover, a weekly cover, because they can't actually use weeks because that's what Hobonichi calls their books, and so it's trademarked and they don't want to get in trouble. But it's a weekly cover, and it's more of a folio cover, as you can kind of see. I just have the weeks tucked in into that front pocket because I want to be able to. I want to get some of the Hobonichi thin notebooks with the paper and slide them in there, and I like being able to use my pen holder. But this one is inscribed with "Spend the rest of your life celebrating," and I'll link the video up above so that you can see me unboxing this surprise gift from Tiffany. So, yeah, love this. Again, never leaving my house, or it'll leave my house, never leaving my hands. Next up is a B6 Slim in Angel, Pemberley Leather Angel. And this is the one that I actually got on a buy-sell trade, and it actually had like a very slight inscription right down here. Like somebody had tried to stamp it after the fact. And the person that I purchased it from on the buy-sell trade group didn't let me know that. And so I was like, well, shit. And it just bugged me. Bugged me so much. I couldn't take it. Even though I love striations and all of that kind of thing in my notebooks, when it's done like that, you could still see lettering and I couldn't get it out or buff it out or anything like that, I thought, I'm going to try to stamp it. And so I did. And I think it turns out pretty cool. And so this is the stamping that I did with Stays On ink, which is made for leather stamping. And I stamped it on the inside as well with coffee. Coffee and travel. It's pretty much my thing. Coffee beans, all of that. So I will link the video up above where I did this. So yes. And so this one will probably not leave. One, because I don't think anybody would want to buy it. But, you know, I think it's awesome. And you can't even tell that there is a little stamp indentions at the bottom there. It's actually just right in here. So, but I think it turned out really cute. I was very worried the whole time going, oh my gosh, I'm getting too much in here. But I really like it. And if I actually, when I'm going to travel, like if I'm going overseas or when I go to Dragon Con or anything like this, I'm taking this. Because one, I'm not so attached to this one that if I lost it, my heart would be broken. But also, it, you know, whatever it goes through. It goes through. And so I think that, you know, this is a good knockaround one for me. Next up, my Dr. Jones. So this bad boy was done as a special edition for charity, and it is designed in the theme of Indiana Jones. I call it Indy or Dr. Jones, and but I always have to go Dr. Jones. I don't know why. I just do. It's a thing. But it has an outside pocket, which is rare for a Chic Sparrow. In fact, I think this is the only one, other than the Sidekick, that has an outside pocket done. And so it is also the first classic that I bought, so that does not have any inside pockets. So, nor does it have a pen loop, which I have found that you can purchase these online and they work just as well. So, and I actually have it attached to this folder in the back, and it works great. So I don't actually have I don't use a Lamy in this one, because this houses my Jibun Techo, which is my social media and digital media tracker. So I keep all my updates for when I post to YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, doing my blog notes, all of that kind of thing in here. So this is my media tracker, and that is my Dr. Jones. And I love this guy. Love it. So I'm not sure next year. I'm definitely getting a Jibun Techo to do the same thing, because I love the way it's laid out. It's perfect for what I want to use it for. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the B6 Slim or the A5 Slim, because I kind of want to try the A5 Slim and keep it with my Hobonichi A5. So they're just together. So I don't actually have to carry two separate whole traveler's notebooks, because I use the Cousin of Beck in my Hobonichi, and so I only have that small book. And I like my bullet journal to be in its own cover, which is in a Steckles Bonds cover. And so I'm thinking I will get the Jibun Techo and the A5 Slim, and that way I can combine those two into one cover and then knock out one of the four that I always carry with me. So next up is one of my three Mavericks. These are the golden Mavericks. Now this one doesn't actually have anything in it right now. This is the golden Maverick in personal, and it has all these lovely lightning strikes. Oh my gosh, I love it. This one is not this one is inscribed. It has Badass Valkyrie inscribed there. And this is, if you haven't tried the Maverick leather, it's actually a much thicker leather, and it's more solid. I mean, it's not real bendy at all. I mean, it conforms around the inserts, but it's not floppy like the Pemberleys are or anything like that. It's got some structure to it. But with that being said, how beautiful is that leather? Oh my goodness. I love it. Even the inside is just beautiful. So I love my Mavericks. All of them. I love them. This guy is the only one that actually has a dangle charm on the plate. It helps if I actually flip it around the right way. So it says, live the life you imagined and create. And then it has my Valkyrie wing. So I love this one very, very much. With this one, I'm not carrying a personal right now. And so I've kind of just put it away for a little while just to give it a rest. So, but I do love it. And I love the personal size. So next up is what I got in the mystery sale, or the second chance sale, when their classics were 50% off. Or I think they ended up being almost 50% off. And this is a pocket wide. It's the first time I've ever tried that size. And I figured, well, I want to try the size and let's just see what we get. And I got a Maverick. So this is another golden Maverick. And as you can see, it's this one's got beautiful lightning strikes. There is no inscription, which I totally lucked out on. I have not stuffed this as much as I would like. I just got to get some more jump bands. But I am not sure I like the pocket wide. But I'm saving the final decision until I can just like stuff this sucker and see if I really like it or not. Because it's not stuffed, and you can kind of see how the bands are kind of tightening in. Now, someone actually suggested putting A6 inserts in this. And so I'm going to try that and see if I like that better. And use this as kind of like an A6. We'll see. But right now, this one is one of the possibilities of selling and getting it to fund a new one. Next up are the two pockets that I own from Chic Sparrow. This is kind of near and dear to my heart because it is a pocket Aubergine, which is also a retired Pemberley leather. It's the purple. And this was actually the first Chic Sparrow I ever owned. And I loved it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I actually got this before my Nano, just a couple of days before my Nano. And I knew even then that I was a pocket girl. Love the pockets. It is just a perfect size. I bought it used off the Buy Sell Trade Group. And it's just a beautiful purple. And it's a deluxe. Almost all of mine are deluxe, except for the Dr. Jones, which didn't come in deluxe, and the Maverick Pocket Plus that I got when I didn't get to choose. And also the classics were not on sale, or the deluxes were not on sale, so I got the classic just to try the size. But I do love the Aubergine, but this is another one that might go on the for sale, because as much as it does have sentimental value to me, I didn't buy it new. And in case you haven't noticed, kind of a brown, the dark natural leather tones kind of girl. And I love the purple, but I love the natural, more kind of pull-up leathers in the pockets more. I don't know for sure. And so, again, don't know if I'm going to do it or not. It is a struggle to decide if I'm going to sell or not. So, but this is one that I'm thinking about selling. Next up is a Black Beauty. I think that's what this one is. It is a smoother leather, but holy cow, I love this leather. Love it. It is in a pocket, and it's a pocket deluxe. I actually got this one off of eBay, and the leather on it is beautiful. I just have one of the flip pads slid in there for there. So, but it's in amazing, amazing condition. I mean, it looks brand new. And so, there we go. But I'm just not using it. And so, but it's the only black one I have. And I'm kind of torn because I'm like, I really love the feel of the leather. And it is just, I want to say it's the Black Beauty, but I think it's a creme leather in black. I think. But I can't for sure tell. But it has, I mean, it's got some beautiful striations to it. You can, it's not pebbled by any means, but it's textured. But it is so soft, and it's just, but it's structured. So not like the Maverick, but it is more solid than the Aubergine, that's for sure. But I do love it. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, I love it. All right, so next up is my pocket, or not pocket, my passport. And when they did the Maverick sale, they actually included the passports. A lot of times you can't get a passport from Chic Sparrow unless it's one of their special events. Freaking love this thing. Love it. Again, Maverick. This one does not have an inscription, but I love the striations in it and the lightning strikes. There's not as many lightning strikes as my larger ones, but still, it's a beautiful notebook. And this I just love throwing in my bag when I know I'm going to be taking notes, because I can just do that and just be like, boom, I need to take it. Because like the Nano is too small for me to really take notes. And so, but this one is perfect. And I can carry it with me. And this would probably go with me on when I'm traveling as well if I didn't have as much room as I wanted. But I love it. And if I'm at like an SCA event or a fighting event, I usually take this one with me because I can just throw it in my bag. And if I need to jot something down, or if I didn't want to take one of my larger traveler's notebooks, I can update things here for however long I'm gone. And then I can come back and just take out the note pages. And once I've written everything in where I want to write it down as to what happened during the day or anything like that, then go from there. But this is my perfect little note taker. And I have a petite pilot. I mean, look how cute that fountain pen is in there. It's perfect. So, I love it. So he's not going anywhere either. All right, next up is a Nano that I picked up off of the Buy Sell Trade group. And it's in there, I can't remember, I want to say Outlander leather, but it's one of their original ones. And I'll show you the difference here in a minute. But like, it's got these pockets, and it's more of an oil tanned leather, I think. But what I keep in here, and these are just the micro or the nano inserts. What I use this for is just a reference on my desk. So when I change inks, or if I'm using different inks in my fountain pens, I track it in here. So I know what ink is in which fountain pen that I'm currently using. So I've got a number of different Arashizuku inks, and sometimes I'm like, which ink does this have? I don't know, because I want to, like, if I'm going to refill the fountain pen, I'm like, is it this blue or is it this? Because I got a bunch of samplers as well from Arashizuku, and so this stays on my desk, away from Tyr, who is like, what is that, Mama? What is that? And I'm like, he literally had the edge in his mouth, and I'm like, no! So I had to like tuck it in. But what's perfect about the nanos is they just fit almost everywhere so that he can't get to it. At least for now, until his little paws get bigger. And then I'll have to find a better hiding place. So last but not least, definitely not least, is the very first Chic Sparrow I ever bought. And it's the Honey Nano. And this thing has been in my handbag since the day I bought it. And look, let me open it up so you can see the patina correctly. Look at that beautiful patina. Oh my goodness. It is amazing. And you can tell the difference in the two leathers. So this one is just a really thin leather. I'm not sure. It's one of their original nanos. And so, I mean, it feels amazing, but it's very, very thin. This one is not thin. And it has the different pockets, the current pockets now. And so it's a much thicker, pull that out, leather. And I originally got this to try to use it as a wallet. Not gonna happen. Way too tiny. But this actually keeps just reference material. Like in here, it actually literally lists, I have Chic Sparrow Collection notes, like when I purchased it, what order number it was, how much I paid for it, all the other Traveler's Notebooks that I have, if there's a discount code for, you know, like Coffee Monsters Co. or Once More with Love or whatever, I keep that all in here. So, because regardless of what I take with me, sometimes I take my week, sometimes I don't. This is always in my bag, always. No matter what bag I carry, I can put this sucker in there. So I can even put, you know, I can tuck cash in this, whatever I need. It'll hold credit cards, and I've got spare slots in these in the dashboards just for that reason. So if I ever did need to use it as a tiny little wallet, because I use a pocket Apple Pig, which is a little thick, but this sucker is always in my purse, handbag, whatever. But it has a beautiful patina, and I love this thing. It has so many little tiny notes that only I know what they are. And so you can kind of tell which one's been loved a little bit more because, yeah. But I actually love this style so much more than this. This one doesn't have nearly as much structure. And so it just feels better. So there you have my Chic Sparrow collection. And I would love to know how many Chic Sparrows you people out there have. If you watch this channel, you know I am a die-hard Chic Sparrow fan. I have the most Chic Sparrows out of any other brand in my collection, although Speckled Fawns is slowly catching up, but having 13 Chic Sparrows in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sizes, I say is pretty good. Maybe a little extreme, but I really, really love their quality, and I just can't say enough nice things about them because I love their company. And I have never gotten anything from them that I was disappointed in. Ever. Ever. Well, other than the color. I was not disappointed in the quality at all. Just the color. Yeah. No pinks. No caps, no pinks. Not for me. But, again, as you can kind of tell, I have a fondness for the browns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of those 13, 6 of those are in natural brown, which I love. So, yeah. Anyway, please note below if you have any Chic Sparrows, how many you have, what you have. If there's something that you're dying to have, I would love to know that, just because I'm curious. But the Wayfarer is calling my name. I'm like, Although I also still want the Apollo. Blue is beautiful. I also want the Nightingale. I think that's the one that, no, the Hummingbird. It's the Hummingbird. That was the dark teal color. It was almost like the Hera, but darker. So those two are the, oh, and the Fraser. Yeah. I was looking at the Claire, which is a new leather that they just released. The Claire and the Fraser in the Outlander leathers. The Claire is a brown, and I was like, oh, it might have like an orange pull-up to it, but it doesn't really seem to stay. So of the pictures that I've seen, it's not quite as dramatic as I would love. I would love to have that, the pull-up color come out more in the Claire. So I want to see more pictures of that first. I'm going to order a sample of that and a sample of the Fraser, but every one of the Frasers that I've seen, to die for. And it's the red, like the fire red. So I'm wondering how close between the Poppy and the Pemberley, or the Poppy and the Prometheus, where it kind of goes, because I would love it to be more of an orange red. So I'm kind of hoping to get, I'm going to get a sample of that. I'm getting a sample of the Apollo, a sample of the Claire, a sample of the Fraser, and a sample of the Wayfarer, the new Wayfarer brown rustic tote leather. And so I'm probably going to do that in the next couple of weeks, just to kind of see which ones I want to look at and go from there. But I wasn't really big on getting samples of the leathers, but then this past weekend, somebody had put on the D-Stash table leathers, samples of the Foxy Fix leathers, the sample tabs that they send out. And I'm like, you know, I can already tell I would not like the leather that's in the Foxy Fix as far as the Lush goes, because the inside of it kind of rubs and peels off. And so that instantly told me that I didn't want to get any of that. So, but I'm going to look at some of their other leathers possibly, but I have not ever purchased a Foxy Fix, not used or new. I just recently purchased my first Mystic Little Gifts, and it's in an A5, but it doesn't actually fit my A5 Hobonichi. It barely fit my MD notebook. So, I don't know. It's in a blue, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not bonding with it very much. So, we'll see. That's another one that's probably going to go back on the Buy Sell Trade group. So, eventually I will go through my other random collections, the ones that are my non-Chic Sparrow side collections of what I've got, and so I can show you guys the other side of it. Most of them are like up there. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you don't think I'm nuts for having so many. I know I am, but I like to change them out. And as I was explaining this weekend with Traveler's Notebooks, you know, some people do different things with different inserts. I like having a notebook dedicated to one thing. So instead of just one insert, I have a notebook with several inserts for different parts of that project. And so that's how it makes sense to me. And I know that if I take like my A6 Feywood designs that I got as a gift, which I love still, it's just right up there, that it has everything about Rebel Athenas, my podcast, in that. So if I question anything, I'm like, oh, where did I put that? I know it's in that notebook. If I have any question about my bills, it's all in there. Figures this would be the thickest Traveler's Notebook that I have. But if it deals with bills, it's in here. I'm still working on the process of this so that I get it down, but that's what's in here, and I know it's in here, and I don't have to worry about it. So, self-care. My self-care weeks is in here, and this is, I love this. I love the thin profile of that, and so, yeah, I love this. Love it, love it, love it. This probably is my favorite week's cover that I've gotten, and I've gotten four weeks covers to try. This is by far my favorite. And this is the Calypso. I don't know if I said that earlier, but this is another Odyssey leather, and it's in the Calypso. So the other, one of the three females, the Hera, the Poppy, and Calypso. So there you have it. Amy Graham's Chic Sparrow Collection. And only to get bigger, I am sure, in the future at some point. May shrink to get bigger, but yeah. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, spend your rest of your life celebrating, as my Chic Sparrow Calypso Weeks cover says.